In this video I am going to show how to replace this screen on a Samsung Galaxy A20e smartphone without replacing the frame. After that I'll show some gameplay benchmarks from different games. First thing we need to do is to remove the SIM card tray from the phone. After that we can detach the plastic back panel by going around with a prying tool. The fingerprint sensor is attached to the plastic back, so be careful not to break its ribbon cable. Next we need to take out all the tiny screws. I think they're all the same type of screw, but to remember which one goes where, I usually set them down on the table in the same pattern that they go in the phone. After removing the black plastic shielding and the fingerprint sensor, we need to lift up some flex cables and antennas, after which the main board can be lifted out of the phone. The USB board is attached to the phone with one screw that is different from the other screws. In order to lift the broken screen out from the frame, we need to heat the phone up a bit, but not too much, since the battery doesn't like to get too much heat. One way to detach the screen from the frame is to pry with a suction cup, but that doesn't work when the screen is badly shattered. Another way is to push the screen outwards through the camera notch, but it's best to not push too hard from one place or the screen will shatter more, which will make the process always more difficult. When the old screen lifts out from the phone, it's important to remove all the tiny bits of glass on the frame. You don't want to leave any of that under the new screen, since even the smallest shard of glass could make the new screen break easily, even from small hits the phone takes. You also want to remove all the previous adhesive to make the new screen stick properly to the frame. Before installing the new screen, we'll want to test that it works and that it fits the frame properly. So we'll put the screen on the phone and assemble it so that we can test if it works. Trying to power up the phone, it initially didn't respond, but I needed to charge it for a while and the charging icon appeared on the screen. So after charging a while, it did boot up normally. After seeing that the picture on the screen was okay and the touch worked on every corner of the screen, I switched the phone off and took it apart again to this time attach the screen properly. Most screens come with double-sided adhesive strips, but in my experience those don't really work well. What has been a quite reliable method for me is to use this B7000 glue and apply it on the edges as well as on the center where the LCD display panel itself will be. After applying the glue, I waited 10 minutes and after that installed the screen. After permanent installation I checked again that everything worked and touch and front camera and everything seemed to be okay. So I resumed assembling the phone. After complete reassembly of the phone and also installing the screen protector that was included with the screen, I booted the phone up again in order to test that the fingerprint sensor worked, and it did. So I applied some rubber bands to hold the phone together while the glue cures. After waiting 24 hours for the glue to cure, I tested some games on the budget smartphone, and it seemed to handle everything else except Fortnite, which was a bit too heavy a game for this phone to run playably.